Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome everyone to today's class. This class is for the first secondary grade English subject for the second semester. The lesson is Unit 1 for meaning and function from the book meaga Gold 2. Our objectives in today's lesson is to know how to use the simple past with used to, and to know also the usage of there is and there are, and also to get to know the plurals forms. So let's begin. So the first thing is, do you think or what do you think the tense is here? Okay, so here for example, let's say if this is now, this is the present. So before the present, what is the tense? And after the present, what is the tense? What do you think? Let's find out more about this. So actually, before the present symbol, there is a past symbol and the past progressive, which means an action that started from the past and continues until very recently, not now, but very recent from now. And here is the future symbol tense. So actually, simple past with used to, it means that we use the used to in the simple past for habits and situations that are, for example, no longer true. For example, Morse, the inventor of the telegraph system, used to be a professor at New York University, and he used to teach art and design. So used to be a professor and used to teach, those are very old things. This is from the past that are not available today. And here also another example, people used to communicate by telegraph. Telegraph companies used to dispatch telegraphs by train across the United States. So all of these are also used to use in the simple past, which are no longer true or no longer exist. Okay, so now how can we ask a question for used to? We're actually for the yes and no question side, we can ask by saying, did you used to have a blue car? Here, as you notice that we use did, the past form, and the base form of used to became used to. And also the other question, did they used to play football every week? So the thing that we must stress here is that we use did in the past in yes and no questions. And the answer, either we say, yes, I did, I solved it 3 years ago, or no, they did not, they used to. So now used to and would. So actually we can also use would in place of used to for past habit, but here we cannot use would for past. For example, we can say in ancient times people would shout the messages to the next tower in order to pass on information through the kingdom, but people used to have very powerful voices in those days. So used to here, we actually used it because it's a state. We were expressing something that were happening before, okay? But now, not with would here, because would here represent an action that or for in place of habits or things that we are doing before but not now. Okay, so those are the places where we can use would and where we can use used to. And because as we can see here, it's incorrect actually to say people would have very powerful voices. And information question, how to use information question. We just saw an example of how to use yes or no questions with used to. Now we're going to see the examples of how to use information questions in used to. For example, why did people used to shout from signal towers? So as you can see here, we use the used to in its base form, but only did. The helping verb here is the one we change it into the past. The same goes for the second question, which is, what did you used to do when you were young? So actually we changed it into the past. And with the answer, of course, we use the simple past form. As you can see here, they wanted to pass on messages, and I used to ride my bike in the park. So here is what the things that we can change in the used to information question. So now we have a task. Read the answers and write a question. Okay, so for example, we have an answer here. It says, Fahad used to check his email all the time, even when he was on vacation. Fahad used to check his email. So what do you think the question will be? Mostly when the answer is that someone is checking his email, okay, we can ask, so this is all the time, this is a period. So we can ask, if we want to ask a number of times someone is doing something, we can ask when, or how many times actually Fahad used to check his email. We can say how many times Fahad used to check his email. And this is, of course, information question because it didn't start with yes or no, unlike the second one, which is started with yes. Yes, people used to leave messages on telephone answering machines. So our question will be, since it's people and plural, did people used to leave messages on telegraph? Okay, so this is also another way to make a question out of this. So let's say here the question: did Fahad used to check his email all the time? So here we should actually add the yes. Yes, Fahad used to check his emails all the time, even when he was on vacation. And here with the second one, did people used to leave messages on telephone answering machines? Yes, people used to leave messages on telegraph answering machines. Okay, so this is a task regarding how to make questions. Also, another example, the first one, it says, no, they didn't. So this is obviously a yes or no question, the same as for the first one. Here the question must started with did. Let's check and see. Yes, did students used to write on paper or in books on tablet? No, they didn't. Students used to write on chalkboard. And the other one says, did you used to go to bed early? No, I did not. I used to stay up really late every night. So those are also examples on how to ask a yes or no question using used to. Now we'll move to the other sections of our lesson, which is regarding the singular nouns and the plural nouns. Okay, singular nouns, of course, we're going to use there as, and with the plural nouns we use there are. For example, there is a phone message, a one message for you. This is why we use there is. And for plural, there are lots of unanswered emails in my inbox. Okay, so both in the plural forms or plural nouns we use there are, and with the singular one we use there is. So with the plural, the regular nouns, for most of them, we add s to form the plural. So this is how can we make a plural noun. So we only add s. So if the noun, there are some cases, if the noun ends in s or ch or sh or o or x, we added es. For example, that in the question that ended with y, we usually drop the y and added ies for the plural. And for the regular nouns that end in f or fe, we actually change the ending to vis. Okay, and we're going to see some example. For example, here letter, we only add s, it became letter. And inbox, and this it ended with x, we added es, it will be inboxed. City, it ended with y, we change it to ies, and it will be cities. Leave, it ended with f, and we'll change it to ves, leaves. Card, cards. Business, businesses. Company, companies. Wife, wives. Email, emails. Watch, watches. Story, stories. Life, and life. And also note that if the noun has a vowel before the final y, then we add an s. For example, boy, boys, because here is the vowel before the y. Day, days. Donkey, donkeys, and etc. Again, we have also irregular forms of plural nouns like man, men, child, children, foot, feet, deer, deer, fish, fish, mouse, mice, tooth, teeth, woman, and women. Okay, and also there is food and feet and such on. So now we reach at the summary of our lesson. We actually talked about how to use simple past with used to, and we also talked about there is and there are, and also we talked about the plurals, the regular and irregular. So thank you very much and have